Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today we are chatting through all of the books I read in March. This was probably the biggest reading month I have ever had in my entire life. I read 33 books, and I'm really happy with that number. I know I told myself at the beginning of the year that I wanted to slow down, but I don't feel like I was rushing through these books. I was enjoying my time with them, and I genuinely remember every single book I read in March. So that's great. As always, I would love to start out by sharing some stats of the month. So, like I said, I read 33 books in March, which amounted to 9,292 pages. That's huge. I think like double of what I normally read. So, amazing. My average rating was a little lower than usual, at a 3.96. If you look at the ratings bar graph down in the bottom left, you'll see that I had 4 5-star books, 2 4.5 stars, 21 4 stars, 1 3.5 star, 4 3 stars, 1 2.5 star, and 1 DNF. I am tracking series specifically this year, and it's a goal of mine to finish as many series as I can. So just wanting to update you that I started 1 series, I continued 4 series, and I finished 6 series. That was probably due to the video that I filmed, how many series can I finish in 1 week. I will link that one down below in the description box. As far as where I acquired these books, 6 of the 33 books I owned, which meant 18.7% of the books I read were from my shelves. 22 of the books were from the library, and I think that was mostly because I don't own a lot of middle grade, and so I needed to get them from the library. And 5 of the 33 were borrowed, or 15.2%. As far as genre breakdown, we were all over the board. I read 1 classic, 12 contemporary, 6 fantasy, 3 historical, 3 mystery, 2 nonfiction, 5 sci-fi, and 1 thriller. And lastly, for format, I read 18 books physically, 14 on audio, and 1 was a mixture between physical and audio. So, some great numbers there. I love to look at the numbers, as you know, and it's fun to see just the breakdown of how I read and what I read. Anyway, this wrap-up is going to be a little different because I did vlog the entire month of March, so I've talked about most of these books in my weekly vlogs. What I'm going to do down below is list all of the books I read, and I'll put the video that I talked about them in, so if you are interested in hearing more of my thoughts, you can check out that video. But for today, I'm just going to list the books and the rating I gave them, and then I will probably chat about the few 5-star reads that I had. Okay, let's jump in. I'm going to start with the lowest rated, and then we'll get to the 5-star books. The first one I DNF'd, and that meant that I am going to DNF the entire series. This is Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Alston. This is the 3rd in the Supernatural Investigation series. I talk about at length why I DNF'd this in the series vlog that I did this month, but ultimately it was a me problem and not the book problem. My only 2.5 star of the month was Things We Lost to the Water by Eric Nguyen. The next 4 books I gave 3 stars. So we have Shouting at the Rain by Linda Mullally Hunt. We have the 12th in the Spy Family manga series by Tatsuya Endo. Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. And Class Act, which is the 2nd in the New Kids series by Jerry Craft. Again, those 4 I gave 3 stars. I only gave 1 3.5 star, and this month it was The Boy from Clearwater, Book 2 by Yu Pei Yoon and Zhu Zhaojin. If you remember from the stats, I gave 21 books 4 stars, so the next books that I list here will be 4-star ratings. In no particular order, we have School Trip by Jerry Craft, the 3rd in the New Kids series. Restart by Gordon Corman. The Wild Robot Escapes by Peter Brown. The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. Frizzy by Claribel Ortega. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Volumes 11 through 15 in the Promised Neverland series by Caillou Shirai. Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth by Sheila O'Connor. Out of My Dreams by Sharon M. Draper. And Out of My Heart by Sharon M. Draper. Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. 3 Keys and Room to Dream by Kelly Yang. Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun, Veronica Ruiz Breaks the Bank, and Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice by El Casimano. Next up we have Dress Coded by Carrie Firestone, which I gave 4.5 stars, and The Wild Robot Protects by Peter Brown, which I gave 4.5 stars. Now we are into the 5-star category. I gave 4 books 5 stars, and these were really the standouts of the month. I read a lot, and that was primarily because of Middle Grade March. Middle grade books go faster, but I still am really happy that I got these 5-star books out of the deal. So the first one I read was Whitebird by R.J. Palacio. This is a graphic novel, and it is a historical fiction as well. We are following a young girl during World War II. She lives in France, but she is from a Jewish family. One day her school is raided by the SS officers, and she needs to escape. She has a friend at the school who helps her out. Actually, she probably didn't think of him as a friend, but he decided to help her out, and she hides in his barn until the war is over. It is such a good story, and the relationship that she is able to form with the boy who saves her is really, really beautiful. It was tragic, of course, as most Holocaust and World War II books are, but I really, really loved it, and I'm so glad I picked it up. The illustrations were nothing like super fancy, but I still enjoyed my time immensely with this book. The next 5-star I read was Fish in a Tree by Linda Mullally Hunt. This was so good. This is about our main character, Allie, and she knows that something is wrong in her brain, but she doesn't tell anybody about it. She has dyslexia, but she doesn't realize that that is different than normal people. She thinks that everybody sees letters and numbers on the page like she does. Her teachers have never noticed anything. Her mom has never noticed anything. And finally, when a substitute teacher comes in after her regular teacher has a baby, her dyslexia is noticed and she is able to get the help she needs to read. It was such a great story about what teachers can do for their students and really just the power of words. And it made me truly grateful for the fact that I have this hobby and I love this hobby, but I know that reading is not for everyone. I should not judge people based on the fact that they can read or not, because you do not know what is going on in their brain. And I think the gal who lent me this book wrote it best. If you ever thought someone was dumb, please read. So people probably saw Allie as a dumb girl because she could not read, she could not write. However, the people around her didn't know what was going on in her brain and that she needed just a little bit of extra help to get to that point of being able to read and write. And one teacher was able to do that for her, and that made the difference in her life. So, loved this one. Next up, we have This Book Won't Burn by Samira Ahmed. And again, this one talked about the power of words and books and how everybody should have the right to read whatever they want. It was kind of a book banning story about our main character, Noor. She was new to this suburb of Chicago, and when she got to her new school, she walked into the library because that was the place she felt safest, and she saw that the librarian was taking books off the shelves in the tens and hundreds of books. She was learning that the school board was having issues with the content of some of those books, and so they were just removed from the library. She, along with her friends and the librarian's help, make a difference in this school district and with the school board, and I just loved what it had to say about the power of reading and how everybody should be able to have access to books because they can teach us such amazing things. And the last 5-star I gave in the month was Moon Garden by Michelle A. Berry. This is the first in the Plotting the Stars series, and I would never have known that this book existed if it weren't for Middle Grade March and Amanda from On the Middle Shelf recommending it to be our group read for the month. This is a sci-fi retelling of The Secret Garden. I really love The Secret Garden. As you saw, I gave it 4 stars. It's not my all-time favorite middle grade or classic, but this retelling could be. an all-time favorite. It's just such a great story with excitement and wonderful characters, and the sci-fi element was really awesome too. So we are following Myra. She goes to school on the moon, and at this school everybody has a talent that comes out where it's almost a magical talent, like they are super awesome at working with numbers, or they have a tech-oriented brain and can easily manipulate technology. Myra is supposed to be the number person because her parents are both number gurus. However, that talent or magic isn't showing up in her like it should be. It's not presenting itself. One day she stumbles upon a laboratory that she's never seen before, and in that lab there is a trapdoor to a secret garden. She sees that there are plants growing there, and she's been taught her entire life that plants are bad. They hurt humans. But she learns from a little robot and a worker at the school that plants are not bad. And it just goes from there. She spends a lot of time in the garden, as Mary does in the secret garden, and she is hoping to tell the world, this crazy galaxy of a world that we have traveled to, that plants are not bad and they would actually help their society if they were used in the right way. So this is such a fun retelling and a great story overall. This is only the first in the series. There are 2 more books, Sea Garden and Ash Garden, and I already have them on hold on my Libby app because I want to read them immediately. With that, those are the 33 books I read. Again, if you are interested about more of my thoughts on books, you can either check out the videos that I talk about them listed down below in the description box, or you can comment and ask, and I would love to chat with you in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!